Hey there guys, this is Purple Ninja Link, and welcome to something, well, the start of something a little bit special. For those of you who are unaware, and I venture to guess there's a decent number of you who are unaware, I'm currently going to school studying game design. My career goal, I suppose I could say, is to make video games. So what I figured I'd do is, for the projects that I work on, I'm gonna make little walkthrough videos just kind of showing off the game that I made as it is. Starting with very simple little things. But what I've got today is a midterm project for my game engine scripting class. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. There we go. It's a little platformer made with Unity. Basically, so I can get this out there, the assignment was to make a 2D platformer with some unique mechanic beyond just get collectibles, be able to die, complete levels, things like that. So the mechanic that I did was rope swinging, and I'll show how that works in just a minute. I should say that aside from a couple of images that I drew, the rest of the assets for the game, the music, the sprites for the player and for the background and things like that are all things that I got from other sources. So I'm just gonna show the credits here real quick. They were all from royalty-free sites, but credit where credit is due. With that done, you can see I've got two modes here, and I only turned in one of them. I'll go into the second one in a little bit. We're going to start with the start option. So you have a little ninja here. You can jump. You can duck. You can make a little peace sign. And the point of the game is collecting these keys. You can see up here in the corner, you can't see my mouse, but you can see up in the top right corner the number of keys I have and the number of keys in the level. And here's a rope. They're a little weird. But they work. They're basically little segments of rectangles that are connected with joints. Kind of a funny little process, but it works well enough. So yeah, you just kind of proceed through the level, get to the end platform, and move on. And I'm a little sad that I only used that song for that one stage because I really like it. But anyway, once you get to this point, the levels start being a little bit less linear. And this is also the point where the different modes kind of come in. So this version is the version that I've turned in. Whoops. Actually, I have no reason to go back over that way. But this is the version I've turned in. It has a few extra checkpoints, and the design of the third stage is a little different. We'll get to that once I get to the challenge mode area. But whoops. Oh yeah. That sometimes happens. That also sometimes happens. My theory on that is that the velocity is high enough and the collision drawing is wonky enough that you just kind of clip through sometimes if you're going too fast. Okay, I already got this one. So we can come over here and use this little rope on the side to get this key. And yeah, basically just collect the keys to progress. Use ropes. The ropes are sweet, and I'm proud of them. So yeah, we had to make 3 levels, and I did this rope swinging mechanic because I thought that it would just be kind of interesting to try. It was easier than I expected to get it to work about like it does. I mean, obviously it's not something you'd see from a AAA game or even a general commercially released game, but it's a student project. It works well enough for what it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. The 3rd level is a little bit longer, or at least more spread out, than the 2nd level was. Oops. It's kind of a natural progression to some extent, anyway. I mean, most of the challenge, if you could call it that, is find rope, use rope to get to platform. But it works. Whoops. Another thing I suppose I should point out, you can only actually grab the bottom section of the rope. And I did that largely because... There I go, clipping into the ground again. Well, you'll probably see it right here. When I'm swinging, the rope is kind of on top of me when I go to the left. So it kind of hinders my jump off of the rope. And if you were, like, tangled up in the rope, that would just be even more of a mess. But all we've got to do is get to this ending platform. And that does it for the normal game. So, challenge mode is my original level designs. I had a classmate playtest this yesterday with those level designs, and there were outcries of rage and despair. So I changed the level design, and I think that the final version that you just saw is a little bit better. But I'm going to go through the challenge mode that I left in for this version, and kind of show why that is. So, the first level is exactly the same. And I will say, I really like how the background looks. Like, props to the artist who did this tile set and background and everything. They are fantastic. I love the mountain background. I like the inside too, but the color scheme of the mountains are nice. So, last time you saw that when I died, I would go back to here. There was a checkpoint here. There's also a checkpoint on that platform I just left. But in this version, there's only one checkpoint per level. And you can see if I fall off this cliff, it's the one right here. So that makes, particularly if you mess up a rope jump, and the ropes give and they take away, so it's easy to mess up a rope jump. It's certainly not a perfect system. But if you messed up a rope jump, you'd end up back on this platform here, and have to get all the way back up there, and then there are spikes, and it's really just a bad time. So giving the player another respawn option was better. And then there's this one. This stage is the one that I actually changed the level design itself for, because, well, you may notice there's not a platform there. There's a platform here in the final version, and this is why. Because I made this game, I have worked with this system, I have built this system for hours. And I can't confidently do it. Now the ropes start swinging, and then it's just a little bit difficult. Because the ropes don't really stop swinging. Bother. So once we get past this point, I'll show another couple of quirks of my level design. So here we have another rope, a rather precariously distant rope, and no checkpoint. There's a checkpoint there in the final version, because this was mean. Now, it's one thing to escalate the challenge a little bit. It's another thing to, well, elicit screams of rage. Which, while somewhat entertaining, wasn't really what I was going for. Now, I'm gonna come over here first. And nothing over here has really changed. It's all pretty much how it was, well, how it is in the final version. But the other big changes at the end of the level, I would point you to the fact that, for one thing, you were able to see that platform leading to the end when you were standing on the checkpoint platform. It's so fun to just fling yourself. Fling into space. Thanks, GLaDOS. So, we have this. There's no way for the player to get back up here. You have to die. And granted, you don't have to come down here until after... Until after you have collected all the keys. Also, a little bit of a layering bug there, but that's okay. One's not bad. But yeah, the player doesn't have to come down here until they've got all the keys. But personally, I'm not a fan of level design requiring the player to die at any point. I don't like unwinnable situations. So, for one thing, not having the platform between these two, and not having a way to get back up, it just wasn't as effective. So now you've seen both versions of the game, and my intent is that this act is sort of a portfolio piece, but that's not all. I'm also including a download link to the zip file with this version in it in the description of the video, so you can try it out if you want. You know, maybe get a little bit of entertainment out of a student project put together over the course of a month in my spare time. But that concludes my first of these projects. My intention is to continue to do this for other projects that I work on, so there will be more kind of portfolio videos in the future, so look forward to that. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye, guys.